Hi, it's Joanne. Today I'm going to be watching The Dragon Prince Season 4, Episode 2, Fallen Stars. I loved the first episode. I'm still adjusting to the fact that everybody's grown up. I am so sorry the audio was messed up. I have filmed multiple reactions since that one. I'm pretty sure, touching wood, that I've got everything back on track. But it was such a good episode. I can't believe I'm actually watching. I mean, I'm now like going to be posting this on Patreon a week after it came out, but I'm like up to date with the Dragon Prince to a degree, and it's very exciting. I can't wait to see what these babies get up to, and these evil people too. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show. Let's go. Does this creature think it could just stay in its cocoon, right? A lot's changed in the last 2 years. Your daughter, in so many ways, she will have got a lot of confidence from doing so much by herself. Like, yes, she was following the orders of a creepy, manipulative worm. But she wasn't just being like, yes sir, no sir, to her dad anymore. Is it going to be weird for her? Is he going to try and go back into that role? Is she going to push back against it? Claudia, just break free. What has she done in this time?
The chrysalis, we have to go back up there.
Such a lovely day. Who's ready for an exhausting climb?
I mean, Viren, if you have PTSD, you don't have to go as well. But also, surely the good guys would have gone up and found his stuff and, you know, put it somewhere for safekeeping.
This is just what I need.
Good. I'm glad he's feeling confident. I love that they have such important roles now, but he's still a kid.
Wow, someone's in a good mood.
Oh, I love books.
Me too. That is how I feel when I get a new book.
Are great.
But tell the truth. Is it really about changing the world? Or is it just an excuse to get Zim to come visit?
Both can be true. Exactly.
I want to squeeze his zappy little cheeks. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
Me too! Viren wouldn't need to climb up here, and why would she could have gone at any point in the last 2 years? Does he have to be the one to pick it up? Is it spelled to him or something? She's oblivious. I mean, she's literally brought you back from the dead. You can show a little bit of weakness in front of her.
This is a matter of utmost. Your mother insisted that before your journey to...
He's huge. I've missed so many pivotal moments of his growth. This is going to be the biggest one for me to process. The baby. He's still a baby.
You must consume the proper vegetables. It's just vegetables. Fresh and delicious and nutritious.
I love him so much.
You do... And I'm reduced to this.
Yes. A dream. The greatest job you could ever had.
To eat his veggies.
I will do this job every day of my life if you want me to.
Well, oh look, here comes the delicious
He's still a baby.
flying into your mouth. You shot it down.
Maybe he likes roasted courgette.
Big journey.
How does she feel about it? She owes the humans a lot. He is loved, and that's all you could possibly want for him. Would have been nice if some of that fruit had whacked him on the head. Do they not realise that the dragons haven't left yet?
Harry will tell you about some of his wondrous Earthblood elf powers.
Really, that won't be.
Claudia, sweetheart, he hates elves.
It smells so good when he farts.
This is so weird. Claudia, sweetheart, you invaded his country. Why is he with you?
Both. You'll be the world's most formidable couple.
Is it all happy families here? I want it to be. Oh, not everyone does think this is a good idea. I mean, I can't imagine, as much as, you know, yes, they will know that humans came and fought alongside to save them. Humans also invaded them. Plus, there'd be the long-held prejudices that humans are less than.
Dark magic's got a bit of a tingly aftertaste.
Yes, why are you so okay with it? What is wrong with this kid? Young man, I suppose I should say. Something has to be.
I don't get it.
Oh.
This tome seems like it has just blank, 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 blankety, blankety, blank.
Is it a spell to hide the relevant...
Tome of translation.
Now what?
Don't ask Bait! Oh no, Viren fell off again.
Right.
You're having a bit of anxiety. Panic attack, and it would be a shame if you fell off the cliff. No, not fall onto stairs, fall off cliff. They never listen.
So stress and anxieties come together, add up, turn into kind of a.
Why does he seem so wise and nice, and he's with Claudia and cool with dark magic?
To me all the time when I was a sibling.
To keep moving, okay?
This is basically zero compassion there from Claudia.
You're the
I died falling off this mountain.
but only the one time.
I mean, Terry seems like a good match to Claudia. You know, seeming all sweet and kind, but with evil darkness inside them lurking.
Incredibly rare symbols on the mirror, but no luck.
It's a bad mirror, sweetheart.
Half the book is blank.
Ooh. Bait.
Wait, why are you trying to give me ink? Blank pages are to write on,
And it magically translates it on the other side. Is that what you're saying, Bait?
Yeah. Bait is the best. And Zim. They both count as the best. Oh, I don't like the mirror because I feel like the creature will be watching him.
I have nothing to criticize about Amaya.
Okay,
I love
good.
Amaya.
I'm glad it's not
She's
personal.
strong,
I never wanted to be queen.
but you are.
Why are you arguing in public? Go private places, people.
We lost Luxoria, our great capital, and we were not able to reclaim it. Our people live in this.
What happened to it?
This
The dark magic?
in makeshift tent. Humans cannot become a permanent.
We are done with this conversation.
Prejudice stays
You can
on.
have what you want, you know. Do not make it a symbol.
I was thinking in the last episode it was quite soon after the invasion for them to be able to just happily marry each other, but I was happy with it. I wanted that to be the case. Are they working to reclaim the capital city or to build a new one? Oh no, you fell again.
You just need to calm down.
I almost feel bad for the man, but I'm also like, just fall. It's cool. Hey, he's unconscious this time. Yeah, she was gonna save him with magic. But what is she drawing from? What reserves has she got?
Chasing after things I didn't have. Influence. Status. Power.
You picked it over your children. One of them stuck around because you brainwashed her enough.
My daughter. Who is the most special person I have ever known.
Yeah, you don't care about your son, do you?
And when I reach the end, I will be at peace. And it
This isn't gonna last, is it?
will just be my time.
Yeah.
You are not letting go, Dad. Not as long as you've got me by your side.
She did fight a lot for
I
him,
brought
but
you back from the dead.
you'd be so much happy, Claudia, if you could just go live in the woods. Are they leaving? Look at the tiny one!
You see? That's a sign. I'm going to take care of you, Dad.
Claudia, you should have gone and tried to make reparations with Catullus and been with your brother. Did she take what her brother said to heart? He's not entirely wrong, but I think if anything, there should be a conversation with her people. Be open. Be like, we're working on, I don't know.
Of course. You mean humans and elves?
Yeah. It's the fear.
It's working.
the tome is giving me the
Fallen star. That's what the guy said about the Sun Kingdom becoming a fallen star, right? What was that? I saw it. It was like a little creature, and then Bait got mad. I need to see it again. Is it an evil creature, or just a creature Bait would like to eat?
In darkness.
Stop it, Callum. I'm calling your brother's name.
Why are you looking at the cube? Wow.
What was the little creature that jumped past? Was that significant, or just cute? It's a evil!
What was that? Where did it go?
Uh-huh.
Hey.
They're all so grown. Okay, so this show just had me feeling all emotional about my babies growing up. Rayla looks so grown up. Oh, that's gonna be an emotional meeting, isn't it? Zim's huge, but still so tiny, and still a baby, and just want to eat his vegetables. I still love him. I'd still give him cuddles and let him zap me, it's fine. Oh, I was like, I knew obviously Zim would be bigger, but I wasn't like emotionally prepared to see Zim be bigger. And he was, and I feel like I missed out on a lot of moments. I'll never get those back. But no, I loved seeing, like, I love seeing the love Zim has lived with. You know, his mother loves him, the other dragons there, you know, the guards are there and they treat him, like, affectionately, and he has them wrapped around his little claws. You know, it's been 4 months since I've seen Ezra, and that is a long time, but it's also, you know, I was sort of wondering, like, how often have they seen each other over these years? But clearly every few months, I guess Ezra has been travelling to Zadia, and just that makes me so happy because they have such a special bond. And like the fact that even the Queen of the Dragons being like, I'm sure King Ezra eats his vegetables. It made me happy to see the love that little baby has had, because he had such a tumultuous start to his life. I mean, he was always surrounded with love, but he's had such stable love at this point, and I'm excited for the visit. I am still scared it's going to go wrong because, you know, as we're seeing with the Sun Elves' reaction to the idea of the marriage, it's very early days in this newfound peace between the races. And like, I don't totally disagree with what her brother was saying, but I also feel like the key thing to do is to spin the symbol. Yes, it will be a symbol. At least the first for a very, very long time, marriage between a human and an elf, and it is an elf queen and a sister of a, I mean, she wasn't royal by blood, but, you know, sister of a dead queen of Catullus, you know, like the aunt of a king of Catullus, you know, like a royal wedding between these two races. Spin it as a positive, as a sign that we are moving forward, as a sign of the union, as like an alliance between our people. The fact that, yes, when we were threatened by bad humans, good humans came and helped us too. You kind of spin it that way, kind of. Yes, there were always going to be people who are against it, because there always are. And of course the Sun Elves are in one of their darkest hours right now. They've lost their home, they're living in tents. It's been 2 years and that they're still living in the tents. Obviously they need to figure out what exactly happened to their home and how to undo it, or to just build a new one somehow. But it is a very trying time. Definitely there will be some of that ongoing prejudice that, you know, when elves and humans last lived among each other, humans were subservient to the elves, and so there's a lingering, definitely feeling of, well, they're lesser than us, and that combined with, and they dared attack us, but they also saved you as well. So I think the key thing to focus on would be hope. I think it's also very important that I like the fact that both Janai and Amaya are, like, in that conversation at the end, there was none of that kind of Amaya being, and not that I ever think Amaya would act like that, but they were often in this kind of situation, you'd have the person be like, what, you mean you don't want to marry me now? But instead she was just like, are we moving too fast for the people? And I think that is a very healthy relationship to have, and it also shows you that that is someone you would want at your side to rule, because whatever they decide to do, they will do it knowing the full consequences and not putting themselves first. Neither of them was like, I want a wedding. They were both kind of like, well, you know, I want this. And I think it could be a thing that would be good for everybody, but, you know, who knows? So I think that's going to be interesting to see develop. They are moving very fast for integrated relations between these two species that have hated and lived in fear and despised each other for generations. But that isn't no reason why they shouldn't get married. Maybe that is a reason why they shouldn't, like, have the marriage next week. But I feel like do some kind of, make it known that, you know, just talk to your people, depending on how many of them are, one-on-one, or do speeches, you know, have like a semblance of people can talk about their fears, because we're not going to go back to a place where humans and elves never interact anymore. So surely it's only logical that eventually elves could live in the human kingdoms and humans could live in the elven kingdoms. Like, that would be quite nice, but I don't know how we're ever going to get there. We're in the very early days. So I like that in this episode, the last episode was kind of the fairy tale dream of it all, and in this episode we had a little bit more of the reality, but the love was just as strong, and I really, really did love that. Baby Ezra, didn't see too much of him, but he misses him, and I love him for it. Callum, I'm so stressed with Callum in this mirror, okay? I thought the little creature was going to be sent by the mirror guy somehow, and I'm guessing mirror guy either interacted with Viren because Viren's dark magic brought him out, and it kind of like that was the connection, or he knows Callum isn't going to do what he wants for him and Viren and Claudia are already off, or maybe all of his powers being exerted into making a little cocoon thing. But I'm very worried for Callum with the mirror. I'm partly worried because I do feel like, I keep calling him Evil Guy, he's literally called Aravos, but Evil Guy. Aravos is like watching Callum somehow, stressful in general because they don't yet know about him. So hopefully this phrase that Callum now has will be important. And I think the thing that the Janai's brother said was something about they think that the days of our kingdom are gone, the sun has set, and the sun has fallen, the stars have fallen or something. And the episode was called like something fallen stars. But like the translation of the runes was talking about fallen stars. So it's almost like there is some kind of prophecy or some sort of whispered thing that when they initially locked up Erebos, that was like one day he'll come back and the stars will fall or whatever, and that time is coming. So it's all very interesting. I'm so excited. Rayla turning up at the end and the look they both shared, there was love and there was fear of this encounter, nervousness. I have no idea how it's going to go. I imagine hopefully in the next episode we're going to find out how and why Rayla left, what she's been up to. Because obviously if it was like Callum was like, Rayla, I love you, and then she was like, fuck you, I hate you, and left, that is not what happened. Then you'd be like, Rayla, how dare you come back like this? I imagine it was kind of like I talked about in the last one, that, you know, they were very young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. She had a lot of stuff she needed to deal with, a lot of growth she needed to do. He was needed here in Catullus, she was needed to be in Zadia for that, but they still care about each other. Is she here as like is she part of the Dragon's like defense team? Did she go and continue her parents' legacy there? Is she almost here as like the early entourage to make sure things are set for the Dragons? I don't know. But I do think it'll be very good for them both to talk because they really love and care about each other. And if they're going to turn this into a long-term thing, if they're going to navigate the path that they're on, they're going to need to do it with openness and honesty. And I loved it. I also love Bait figuring out what seeing that the ink matched itself and being like, Callum, I said that. We love Bait in this household. We also love Zim. And we love Callum and Ezra, and we love Rayla. Soren's alright too. And so's, oh my god, the hunter dude, whose name I can never remember. Trying to think of any other key points from this episode beyond Viren. Now it was interesting because I did feel a bit bad for him watching him have his panic attacks, but it was a very weird feeling of feeling very bad for him while also thinking, oh, it would be a shame if he fell off the cliff. I'd need Claudia to be distracted while he fell off the cliff. That was my one doubt. When he finally fell, Claudia was paying attention. I think Claudia is a very interestingly written character because she's still as ditzy and stupid and doing a lot of the child humour jokes, which again, it's a kid's show, totally fine with that. But like, you get the sense that she's like, I'll murder an entire village for you. his farts smell funny. And she's really scary because both things are true. I do wish she'd been able to grieve her father and then go and try and make things right with Soren and Ezra, and you know, maybe she'd have needed to be put on trial, to go to prison, I don't know, but I wish she'd been able to find her way back to the potential of goodness that she had, instead of further losing herself. I truly don't understand Terry. Like, he knows who Viren is, he knows who Claudia is, I guess they didn't specifically hurt any of his kind, his specific elves, when they came and conquered, but you'd still think he'd be a bit wary of that man that came and tried to, like, murder the dragons, and I don't know, like, I think Terry's secretly a serial killer. It is also a kid's show, but it's very interesting. I think it's also an interesting choice, giving Viren the panic attacks. I like it, I think it's good. I think any kind of representation of anxiety from things is good, especially in a kid's show. So kids, I don't know, kids could be like, I have that too, just like Viren. But I do think it's good to see it. And it's also good to see Viren address the consequences of his actions. And it's always so frustrating that he was ready to be like, I'm just going to live my life and enjoy it, and then I'm ready to die. And then Claudia was the one that was like, snap out of it. We are evil to the core, and we're going. I mean, she didn't say that. She doesn't see it that way. But you know, we're going to save you. And from her perspective, she loves her father. She chose her father over Soren. She doesn't feel like she can go back on that. Her mother chose a lifetime away rather than her children. She feels as though Viren is all she has left. And so if he now gives up after everything she's done from him, and the way she said, I've done things in the previous episode does make me feel like she did some pretty dark shit, which we know you have to do dark magic anyway. If he's now just going to turn around and give up, yes, it's nice that she did all that so we could have like 30 days together, but at the end of the day, is it worth all the suffering? And her father never would have given up before. So it's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see as things progress what Viren is like. Is he going to revert fully back into his old power-hungry ways? Or is he going to keep this new perspective on life? Is he going to start thinking, well, yeah, we could go and do that, but that would endanger Claudia, and I'm not so sure I want to do that. Like, what's he going to do? Is he ultimately... I still feel like we might end up at some point with some kind of having to team up against Argos because he's the biggest of bads. So that was all very interesting. I can't wait for the next episode. Ezra and Zim are going to reunite. Rayla and Callum have already reunited and they're going to continue reuniting. So excited. And Rayla has a cute little friend. Yes. So this was a fantastic episode. This season is going to be great. It's going to be painful, I'm sure, but it's going to be great. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.